welcome back to Copperhead Customs. Today, this is a video we didn't really want to make, but it's kind of another one on our flip car series. This one's a bit devastating, so stick around to see what all the kerfuffle is about. So yes, welcome back, and this video is like I said, a little bit devastating for me personally. So this is on our Chrysler 300c. I'll start throwing some pictures up of what it was like when we finished it a few weeks ago, and also what the slight little damages were. Now, we sent this in to supposedly the professionals into a crash shop, because once I got the value of this car, once I had it valued and realised how much it was worth, I said to myself, let's just send it into the professional to get done. One, because there was so much, we had so much in the kitty left, and two, so that it looked magnificently good. It didn't have any trash or any imperfections that might happen with me doing it, the so-called unprofessional. So anyway, we have, like you've seen, a little bit of damage that was on the door and the guard caused by the forklift driver. We also had a couple of little splits on the bottom of the front bumper, which you just seen me repair on the last one, but this one was very, very minor. And we had some rust repairs, which I did on the roof, so the roof just needed a little bit of paint. So, personally, the bumper, the splits were down the very bottom down here, and they would have got repaired. A little tiny bit of white paint, blended, and a little bit of clear coat. You wouldn't think it's too hard. Maybe clear the whole thing if you wanted to be really fussy, but seeing it's down there under there, you could have basically just done a little bit of clear and masked off that line and probably got away with it. No one would ever know. Now, we come around to the back. There was rust repair done on this corner here, which I did, but it needs to be painted. And I asked the crash shop, there was a little bit of rust on both sides in the back vertical here, so I asked them to repair them, which I will say they did an okay job of. But then to paint this, so personally I would have done a little blend out on each corner and re-cleared it, which I'm pretty sure 90% of crash shops would do it like that. But no, we've painted the whole, well, we as in the so-called professional has painted the whole roof in white. And I don't know if the camera will show up. You could see that orange peel and trash in that paint job from about 27 meters away. And if you actually rub your hand on it enough, you will draw blood. That's how bad it is. Now, we also asked for these black strips to be put on, which I supplied to be glued on, and I'm pretty sure you can see the atrocious state of this with all the glue, and this is terrible. Now, yes, it can all come off, but like, come on, show a bit of decent, like, skill. Also on the tailgate here, it's meant to have a black rubber that goes through there, which was destroyed and has been hacked off with, looks like a Sawzall blade. I don't know if you can pick that up or not, because that is in total disarray. We come, so far we're looking pretty good. Now, here's something else, is this was a 3-day job supposedly to do this, and the car's been gone for a month. Now, I seen the car after about a week and was not impressed with the workmanship, and like said, like, as firmly as I could without strangling someone, this isn't good enough, this has to be rectified. And I've been told every promise under the sun that this will happen. Now, if we look into, remembering this car went there, like you just seen in the pictures, fully detailed. So here is our back of our tailgate. Okay, now we have overspray all over our rubbers. Remembering this rubber all got chopped off. We don't even know what's going on in there. So, and then the floor, bits and pieces of stuff everywhere, not put back together. So yeah, we're looking pretty good. Now remember, this is a month's worth of work. I should be happy that we actually have a tailgate, I suppose. So now we'll head down this way. And if I didn't say, that front bumper was painted from top to bottom in white. What we'll do is we'll head this way straight to the front without showing you any of this section, and we'll come back to the front bumper. So the front bumper was completely painted in white and then re-cleared, and it is probably the best bit of paintwork that is done, but it is still atrocious. I don't know if you can pick it up or not. The orange peel and the reactions and stuff that are going on in there is real bad. We also asked for these little headlight surrounds that I supplied, which you guys wouldn't have seen, to be done, and they're not much better. But if you just stand back a little bit here, I'll get out of the sun. Hopefully you can see that color difference. These are about 4 shades out. Now, here's the kicker. He painted the bonnet as well. The bonnet had no issues at all. For some reason he's painted the bonnet, obviously because it didn't match any of the other colors that he's done, but it doesn't match this. I don't even know how that's possible. Tried to tell me it's because bumpers never come out the same color. Well, yes, that does happen, but when you have perfectly color matched bumpers that are both white to start with, I'm pretty sure that they will come out the same color. So anyway, we've got issues with this as well. For some reason he has then gone and painted this guard as well, because it had the tiniest, if you go back in the first video, it had a little mark here, not even visible. So this has been painted the same. You will cut your hand on the roughness of an orange peel that is in it, and you can see the color difference as well. But this hasn't ended here, okay? We also have overspray all over our black rubber, all the way down here, overspray in here, as you can see, overspray along this black rubber down through the gap here. Hopefully the camera's picking it up, but that's just totaled with overspray, like solid overspray. I don't know, I seem to be able to mask my cars up without overspray. Our grille has a white line the whole way around it of overspray as well in there, the whole way around. I don't know, I'm the unprofessional. I take my grills out when I paint my bumpers, eh? It's not that hard. Anyway, now let's come around to the resistor of the resistances. We've got this. This is our what the car went in for. 3-day job, remember guys, 3-day job. 1 month. 1 month they've had this. I'm nearly in tears over this. Seriously, I'm so upset by this car. Remembering this was a one owner low K Chrysler in immaculate condition. It had the tiniest little, couple of tiny little blemishes, eh? This was not a big job, not a hard job. Give me strength. So this here is factory, and you can see the paint. Hopefully you guys can pick it, that it is like glass, okay? No orange peel. He must have had the bonnet off, it looks like, because all the gaps are up the window here as well. So this is our damage. I can't even really speak about this. It's totally orange peeled. It's then been sanded again. Apparently there's been reactions. We're now down to bare metal up in the front. There wasn't even any issues in this part of the guard. Like, the repair was here. This was where the repair was. It was the tiniest little thing, and personally it would have been a little bit of white paint. The blowout would have only had to go to there, and about that big on the guard. The guard didn't even have any scratches, alright guys, so, and then it would have got re-cleared. But instead, again, the whole guard was painted white. Somehow something went wrong apparently, and the whole door's been painted white, and the colour's off. I don't know, professionals, when you paint a different panel, you blend it in. So if you're painting on this door, you paint here and you blend it back so that this paint here matches perfectly, and then it gradually turns in. That way, if your color is off the tiniest bit, no one will ever pick it, and then you re-clear it. So now we've got all these harsh color variants. So we've got this door, this guard, the bonnet and the other guard are one shade, which is off to the rest of the car. Then we have the bumper and the headlight covers, another shade, which is off to these. So I'm in a bit of a pickle of how I'm even going to do all this. So, any rate, I'm actually really upset by all this, as you can tell. Inside here, we've also got the door panels are all peeled off. There's overspray on everything. The whole car is covered in overspray. If we come to the back again, the back window, you should be able to pick this. It's got overspray on it that looks like it's been smeared with thinners. But all this stuff can be rectified. But this is hours and hours and hours and hours of work that I do not understand why. I really do not understand. You see me do cars. I don't have these issues. I don't get overspray all over my back window. Like, this wasn't even painted back here. Nothing was painted back here. So why is this covered? The tail lights have a layer of overspray on them. You can feel it in your hands when you like. It's absolutely devastating to me that this has happened. So now I have to somehow try to fix all this. So now we have to take the car. We're going to take the car to the paint shop tomorrow. We're going to see what I can do for the paint. Now I think the roof, I think if I wet sand with 2000 and buff and polish it, I can probably get the roof up okay. Like, we've got lots of little things to address in it. Like, even on here there's overspray. Like, I don't even know how this happens, because these were put in after it was painted, but he's got overspray on them. I don't know, but anyway, the roof I think we can save. The bonnet is pretty bad. And now we're into our colour weirdness, so I don't know what's going to happen with the bonnet. I could probably, if there's enough paint on it, colour sand it and polish it up, but the orange peel is really bad on it. So, and I'm too scared to even open the bonnet at this stage to see what's happened under there. This guard and this door are going to have to be repainted, 100%. This is going to have to be completely putty primed, and maybe more bodywork done to it, because just feeling it, I can feel inconsistencies everywhere. So I think I'm going to have to bodywork this, repaint, reprime all of this, paint both of these. I think I'm probably going to have to then do a blend onto this door so that our colour will flow, because this is just, it's off. Now it's probably not really picking it in the camera. I don't know how well it's picking it, but I'm picking it. And that's the whole point of putting it in the crash shop, was so you couldn't pick it, like, realistically. And I just don't even know, like, it's really frustrating me of why you would even do it this way. Like, this is so-called professional, and you would think they should know better than this. Now the bumper is probably the best bit of painting that is done on the car, which still isn't good enough, but the colour is off. So I think I'm going to have to pull this off and redo all this. Oh, here's the other. None of that's plugged back in either. It's just atrocious, the whole thing. So I'm going to have to repaint the bumper, I think. Repaint the headlights. And this guard, it all depends. So if we colour match to this, and we can get our colour correct to this, I don't know. But the colour here is off. So I'm going to give this a little polish and see how close I can get this shade to this. You can see it in the camera there, I'm pretty sure how bad that is. So I think we're probably going to have to repaint everything. We may get away with the roof, I'm hoping. The roof does have this to this. Now, it is a shade out I'm looking at it, it is a touch out, but I don't know what the camera will show. The camera generally will show some of these discrepancies up a lot more, and yeah, you can see through the camera that it is definitely a shade out. I'll try to not paint the roof if I can, but I think all the other panels are going to have to be redone. So both guards, bonnet, I'm going to probably have to do a blend onto this door and do it properly. You know, this wasn't even meant to be painted. Now I'm having to paint this and blend onto this door. Like, it's nearly I'm so tempted to paint the whole freaking car. The bumper, the headlight covers are going to have to be redone. This garden door are going to have to be redone, and it looks like I'm going to have to blend onto the rear door. So like, really, I don't know. What I will say is, I have definitely matured, because I want to so bad, I still do. It took every ounce of strength that I have to not strangle this bloke and break his legs, but I didn't do anything. So it must mean that I have, in my old age, matured a little bit, because basically where would have that got me? I still would have had to fix the freaking car. So, as you can see, I'm very highly upset about this. This is why I do everything myself, and I do not farm any work out. This was the first time I actually attempted to farm some work out, and if it went well, I was going to do a lot more of it. But this is why I do everything myself. And you would have just seen, if you've been following the channel, our little black Chrysler we did, which would have been in the last one, which was painted outside, or even my DeSoto, for argument's sake, that was painted outside under the carport. And the colour matches are perfect. It's off the gun finish just about, and I'm the unprofessional. I'm not the professional. I'm the unprofessional, painting outside in the wet elements with bugs and everything. And the so-called professional with paint roofs and all this stuff produces this absolute crap. That's all I can say. I'm sorry, but I don't normally swear, but that is just absolute shit. This is, and hopefully we can save it somehow. Well, we will save it, but it's just the amount of work I'm going to have to now put into it. So it looks like it's now heading in there. Tomorrow morning I'm going to just polish on that door a little bit, just to see if we can get that colour close. I don't think we're going to, and like I said, I think we're basically going to have to paint at least all of that I said, and maybe we may just paint the whole car yet. So I'll think about all that. So with all that said, I suppose I'm going to go inside and have a bit of a cry. And if I drank, I'd probably drink a bottle of rum, but I don't drink. So we'll go and have a souk, and then tomorrow we'll wake up and we'll go kick some goals, and we'll try to save our once was pristine, one owner, low-K, rare as rock and horse shit Chrysler 300c Wagon, and see if we can eventually make it look good, and then sell it for the high dollar car that it once was. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Oakley dokley, welcome back. And it has been 2 or 3 weeks since we've been back on this. Basically, I was that upset I could not bring myself to work on the car, and that's actually quite a smart move. When something has you so agitated and so upset, you just do not work on them, because you'll basically stuff it up. It won't turn out. Okay, that's with anything. Doesn't matter what it is. If you get annoyed with stuff, you just need to put your tools down, walk away from it, come back when you're in a better frame of mind. Now, it took me quite a while to get back into a decent frame of mind with this car. I was so upset and kind of mad at myself for even sending it out to get it done. I should have just done it all myself. So the camera probably hasn't shown how bad. I'll see if I'll have a little attempt here to see if I can show you. You can see down the bottom in here the orange peel, how bad that orange peel is. It is really, really bad, and that's not even, look at that, it's not even showing up how bad it is. It is absolutely atrocious. Like I said, you can see it from a country mile away. If we can zoom right in here, see that there? That's all black, that's all white overspray. That's around the whole grille. There's just more things, and because the more that I looked at the car, the more I seen that was atrocious. We look down here. This was where there was a mark here on the bumper originally. Well, there's a fresh one on there. down here, that's a black plastic that has been perfectly painted, as you can see in the corner. Well, yep, that's quality workmanship, that is, that we just paint over that. Overspray in there on that one. Well, this is just quality workmanship, guys. And if you look down at the bottom there, have a look at this big wolf. Well, that's where the repair was. So that's a quality repair done. So that has to be fixed. And we've actually got, we can see bog marks, look, burn throughs, like, look at that there. Like, this is just absolute, this is disgraceful. This person should be ashamed of himself. We've actually got a big bog crack through the bottom there. Seriously, he should be absolutely ashamed of himself. I know I'm ranting, but look at that. Look at that quality. Absolute ridiculous. So what I've done here is this black paint. This is just what's it called? Super etch primer, or whatever it's called. Super etch primer, which you put on bare metal. And as you can see here, I just threw it on really roughly, but look at the fry up it's had. So this guard has to still be stripped back more, but I just painted that on because it was in bare metal and I knew I wasn't going to get to it anytime soon. And as you can see, there's overspray because I have to redo the bonnet, and the same on the bumper. Down here, the guard and the door, I think this guy must watch Canadian Bad Chad, because that was just bogged up, shut, and I had to throw the grinder through, and I was in such a bad mood that the cut's not really good, but the gap can be improved. But when you look in, look how thick the bog is in there. Like, somehow we've got to get in and make that, you know, you can't leave that like that. So somehow I've got to get in there now and shave all that bog down and probably redo this. So apparently that's how you get your door gaps correct, according to Bad Chad, is you don't adjust you and do your metal work and get your gaps right. You just bog them shut and then cut them, like, apparently. So I don't know. That's what they do in show cars. So that's what this bloke has done. Obviously he must watch him and think he's a quality tradesman. So we have to address that. This is, I can still feel issues through here, and through here, like, it's ripply as. I'm still very tempted of buying another guard and just starting from scratch on the guard. And I was actually very tempted with the door too, which was the whole reason it went there. And I'll see if I can get you in on, look at the quality orange peel. So hopefully you're spotting that, as so you can see I'm not just making this up. This is atrocious. Now here's what it's meant to be. Look at that, like glass. There you go, there's a perfect example, and that shows you the color variance as well and the quality of paint. So we've got our work cut out to fix this. Now the same is on the roof. We'll try to do the roof's not as bad, but look at that. Oh my god. So I know I'm doing a lot of whinging about this, but there's pretty good reason, hey? So like I said, I haven't been able to work on it. I've been too upset by it, and it's still messing with my head. But what do? We just got to toughen up and try to rectify it. So I've been working on other stuff. I worked on the DeSoto and stuff, like you would have seen in last week's video, and I've been doing construction up the top to try to get my mind in a better place. So now we're going to do it. So the day after you last spoke to us, we went to the paint supply shop, and before we go there, here's something else. For some reason this here is all destroyed and melted, and I don't even understand how that happened. So now I've got to find a new one of them. The badge here on the other side is missing, so I've got to find a new one of them. And this black plastic that's on the inside that I said in the last one was full of overspray, you can see in there, that's actually a little plastic that goes on the door. It was missing one of them. That's about the only things I could find that are missing. Like, you know, this This crap is just everywhere. I seriously don't even understand. I just do not understand this shit. Like, I know I've sworn in this video, and I do apologise for that, but I do not understand. I really do not understand this. Like, if this bloke is a tradesman, this shop, if they are tradesmen, they must be on some serious drugs to be doing this, because this is just I don't even know what it is. Like, this isn't even first year apprentice work, you know what I mean? Like, if any of you guys have got young kids, say a 10-year-old kid, I reckon I could get them to do better work than this within 2 days, you know what I mean? I actually probably think they would produce better work than this straight off the bat. But all right, enough sooking, let's just man up and fix it, right? So, like I said, we went to the paint supply shop the day after. It's all inside the car. We've bought a heap of materials for it. Now, what we've done is we actually took the car in to try to show them what I'm trying to deal with, and like, yeah, he couldn't believe it himself. He was just he was in awe of the quality. So what we've done is there is some slight variations in the original paint. Now, I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up, but there is a slight variation here. It is so minute, it is very, very, very hard to pick up, okay? So obviously what it is this, the body section is painted, and these doors are painted off the car, okay? So there is a slightest little, like, an untrained eye will not even pick this variant up. It is so minute, okay? But it is not, like, the camera can pick that up, okay? Quite easily. So what we've done is we've mixed a little test patch of paint up as close, because there's 3 variants of the paint for one. We've got the one that we think it is, and they've then like tweaked it. So this is what a quality paint mixing person will do, is they will mix the paint to the code, they will come out to the car and check it, and that might get tweaked a tiny little bit, and they will write down their little tweaks, what they've done to get it to match perfectly. And quality paint shops have their own paint system, like I have my own paint system, okay? Dodgy brothers paint shops don't have a paint system for one, and don't get their colour tweaked. They just give them the code and they come back and paint it. And then they don't even do a blend. They paint the whole panel to make it even worse. So we're getting off track again. I'm sorry. I'm still getting it's been 3 weeks. I'm still getting so upset by this. But what we're getting at is we've got a little bit of paint mixed in the car. Now, we haven't done the whole lot of paint. We've just got a little batch mixed. And what we are going to do is we're going to do a couple of little test pieces. So we'll probably do a little piece on this door, like here. So we'll have to scuff this back. We'll paint and clear this. Okay, so we'll mask all this up just to do a test there. We'll do one, say on the bonnet here, bonnet to the bumper. We'll do a little test piece to see if we could perhaps try to save the bumper, but I don't think we can. And we will do another one over here, this guard to here. So we'll do another little thing here. So you should be able to see. You should be able to see by a mile away the variance in the colour there. It's probably not picking up as good as it does. This is probably our closest. Yeah, you should be able to see that difference in colour quite easily. So what we want to do is we're going to do those little test pieces. Then we have to re-clear them, everything, to see how close our colour is. Now, like I've said, we are more than likely going to have to do a blend onto the door and re-clear the door and the back door at this stage, but we want our colour as close as we can. So once that's set off and dried, we'll probably take the car back in to the paint shop, because he's got it, he's tweaked the formula and has it pretty well spot on. but when it sprays out of the gun and when the clear's put on, it can change a little bit. Now this paint, even though it's a straight white paint from factory, is a base coat and clear setup. So base coat, which comes out like a mattish color, then 2K clear put over the top. So that's what it is from factory to make it look a bit deeper. Okay, so we got to do the same, which is how I like to paint anyways, in base coat and clear. So we want to spray it on, clear it, and we'll do it in a couple of random spots like I said. We'll then let that set off and we'll take that back, the car back in, probably into the crash shop, and get him to tweak the formula if he has to. And then when we're happy with our paint choice, we will mix up a bigger batch. I don't even know how much I'm going to get. I might just get 4 litres in case, I don't know, we'll think about what we want to get. I don't know, because I'm still in two minds if we can't get the colour quite right about continuing painting, but yeah, I don't really want to. So that's what we're going to do. We've got to do that, but what we're going to start off with is this atrociousness on the roof. We need to get rid of, somehow get this, scratch all this glue silicone malarkey off, and like, you know, it's everywhere. Like there's even bits in there, and like just check this. This is a quality tradesman, I'm telling you. Like even here, I don't even know what's going on in here. Did that even come off? Not really. So yeah, I just don't understand it. So anyway, calm, zen. What we're going to do is we're going to mask this up. We're going to mask this up, mask the black rubber up once we've cleaned all the glue off. Mask the front rubber up. Then what we're going to do is we're going to sand down the roof and try to polish it and see if we can save the roof. If we can save the roof, that will be good. And then we'll probably actually repolish the back bit to see how close we can get the two colours. You know, they are off, but we may be able to get away with that section. Okay, so that's what we're going to try to do first, is see if we can save the roof. That'll be the only piece that we could possibly save. And then from there, we'll get on to this atrociousness. I think our next step will be, we'll probably get the bumper and all that off the car. And yeah. Come on. Come on. Help me. Help me. We've even painted their hardware. Yep. Alright, so with all of that, Zen, we've got a Zen out, and let's try to see, let's see if we can save the roof, eh? Alright. Stop laughing, it's not funny. Okay, so we've just spent a couple of hours wet sanding the roof, and hopefully you can see, I don't know if the light's flickering there, but it is. Just go sideways here. You can see it's a lot better. It's still not perfect. You can still see stuff in it. See, there's something there. You can still see a little bit in there. I don't want to. I'm going to give it a polish now and see how good it comes up. Okay, look at this. You see that there? Just pour masking up. Okay, all along this rubber, there's bits of overspray marks from a dodgy tape up. It's probably one of my pet peeves, is that, like, I don't know what the issue is with people not being able to mask up properly. Like, spend a little bit of time, have a bit of pride in your work. When you see a rubber on your windscreen, I'll show you when I take all this off, but when the edge of the rubber has white paint all over it, you can see straight away that the car's been painted. Well, no one wants to see the car's been frickin' painted. It's not rocket science, guys. Like, if you're going to do this stuff yourselves, take some time and mask the freaking car up properly. And if you're running a business, you should be absolutely freaking ashamed of yourself if that's how you mask a car up. Like, if that was my first year freaking apprentice, I would sack him on the spot for that shit. I'm telling you, that is just freaking atrocious. Okay, so the more I look at the colour, you know, it's not hard. Like, accidents happen, but a whole freaking, like, the whole windscreen rubber has got paint on it. Like, I just don't understand. I really don't understand it. Like, then we come around here. Now you can't see, so I've just taped it, right? But when I pull this off, you know, we had all this black crap here. Well, it's given me heaps of grief. But then I come along further along, and there's all this white crappy glue. It looks like Selly's No More Gaps or something that you use in your house in there, and it's all crusty and yuck. And I'm trying to get it all out with a blade, and it is a freaking nightmare. And the reason I'm getting so upset with this is not only has he stuffed my car up, but two, I just don't. My brain is not comprehending some of this stuff. It is just not comprehending, like, how this stuff even happens. Like, it really isn't. But at any rate, our colour here to here, you can probably see a slight variation, but I think we'll get away with that, right? But then when you come to the back here, I'm a bit concerned here, because if you look at here to here, it is miles off. So if you look at the three, you can see this tailgate is definitely a different shade than this, and that's what I'm saying. Whites, you wouldn't think it, but whites are very, very, very painful for colour, for colour, like, variations, you see. So, like, white shows, you can have a dirty white car and it still look clean, whereas black shows every single mark. But white, there is so many shades of white, it is very, very, very painful. Oh, should be the word, so I don't know. This is factory paint. And see here, it looks okay. You know, but like there, it looks wrong. So do you know what I'm saying? Like, you just move you around a bit, and, you know, so like there, it doesn't look too bad. So I don't know, I don't actually know, but you can really see a big difference here to here. So I'm hoping that I'm going to polish this. That's why this is masked up around the outside. I'm going to polish this and see if we can't get some life back into this. Remembering this is nearly 20 years, is it? What are we in? This is an 07, we're in 24, so it's a 18, 17-year-old paintwork. Even though it's been garaged, it will still have contaminants and malarkey inside it. So we're going to give this a polish and see if we can get that colour a bit closer. Now, admittedly, there was a couple of hours, and you can still see some peel. I don't know, the camera's probably not really showing it, but there's still a little bit of peel in it. But factory paint does have a little bit of peel, but this, I'm telling you, this Chrysler is, factory paint is really, really, really impressive for orange peel. Like, it is actually really, really impressive, the orange peel from factory in this. It nearly looks like it's been paint corrected, maybe it has. Maybe it has had a paint correction done in the details or something. Now, after saving, we think we're going to save the roof, I'm contemplating whether we could save the bonnet and maybe that guard by spending a lot of time colour sanding it. Our issue is going to be that our colour is still off. So we'll do the same here. Before we actually do a paint, you know, with our paint, we might just see, like, issue is when I polish, then I've got polish in the car, and it can give me issues later on when I go to paint it, but I've got to get it all out, and sometimes you may not get it all out. So that's my only dilemma, but we may actually do a little test here and see if we could perhaps save it. I don't know. The colour is way out. Well, I think you guys can see that there. What we might do is we might mask up and polish the door and just see if we can get it to look a bit better. If we can, maybe we'll get away with the guard and the bonnet. I don't know. We're definitely going to have to redo the bumper, I think. We're going to pull the bumper off. We've got to pull the bumper off and tear it all down to fix up all the oversprays for one, and we have to de-peel it, number two, which we've got to do even if we paint. Like I've said, we could probably get away with the bumpers being you know, a milli shade out, and our issue is going to be, if we can save this, then we've got a new set of paint coming in on here, if that's making sense. So that's where my dilemma is going to be, of whether it's worth just painting everything and blending. So we just got to decide all that, okay? Like I said, we've got to do some tests on that. But the roof, I think I can save the roof. We've got that really flat now, pretty flat anyway, so I'm about to polish that up. What I'm going to do though, what I'm calling for is, as you see, we've masked that up quickly, and we're going to throw the drop sheet over the car and cut the roof out and then mask it on to our masking tape. And the reason being is, as you know, when you polish, bits of polish go everywhere. Well, I do not want polish on any of this stuff that we are going to paint, because it could lead to issues later on, as in, i.e., some reactions or something if I don't get all the polish out and we have a little speck of polish left in the thing when I go to paint it, like a little, you know, micro milli freaking speck, we could get a fisheye, which we don't want. So remember, I'm the unprofessional, but I'm going to throw a drop sheet over that so we don't have these issues. So at any rate, I'll quickly do that, then we'll polish that roof and see if we can save our first bit. And if we can, it might maybe spur us on a little bit, that with a bit more hard work and a bit more zen, we can get this car back to looking like it's meant to. Anyway, let's keep motoring. Okay, well, we're back and we've done the roof now. They're still peeling it. Now it kind of looks like normal. I don't know if it's a bit more than factory. It's definitely more than what's on here. Now, I know it's pretty hard for you guys to see it. I don't know if I can even get you seeing it. Let's try the other way, maybe even. But if you look in the reflections, It's not quite as sharp as over here. I can't really get anywhere for you to see. It's not like it was though. It's definitely a lot better than it was. We'll go around the other side and see if it's better. It's probably passable. I have a feeling that we're not going to see it under this light. It's not horrid. It's not perfect, but whether I need to do it a bit more, I don't know. We're going to have a look over there. I can see some issues just through that section. Whether I need to give it a bit more of a sand, not really sure. I have a feeling maybe this car could have been paint corrected, maybe, because the peel in the car, like, there's a little bit, but it's really, really good. Like, yeah, I've got a feeling this car could have been paint corrected. So to me, under the fluoros, I can definitely notice more peel in the roof than in there. Okay, obviously through the camera it's looking pretty sweet. I think it's definitely better, definitely 100 times better. What we're going to do though is, and I just ran the buff around, like did like 1-2 pass, sort of. Could probably have a bit more of the polish. There's a section through here that's a bit strange, but what we'll quickly do is we'll quickly just push it out, reverse it out into the sun out here, and just see what it looks like out in the natural light, because when it goes time to sell it, I won't be selling it under fluoros, I'll be selling it under natural light. So admittedly we want it as good as we can get it. I really don't want to paint the roof. As you know, we don't have a booth, and we will just get trash and stuff in it. And yeah, and we had a dig at this as much as we could. I don't even understand some of this stuff. Like, there's some of that white glue that I've been scraping at that for like 20 minutes, trying to dig some of that out. Like I said, really, now this will all come up nice and white again, nice and black again, sorry. We've got a lot of crap all over the car now. That's not so much our polish though, that's our colour sanding material. And if you look at this, can you see that? You should be able to see that. Look at that. That's overspray that's been thin as, like, yeah. Anyway, let's quickly move it outside, see what it looks like. And we polished this a little bit, and the colour's better. Wouldn't say, but if you look there, the colour looks pretty good there, eh? But just this section looks a little bit off. But I think the roof may be passable. Okay, so we've just moved it outside, and I'm looking at it for the first time like you are. I honestly think this is passable outside. I can still see a bit of peel in it, but it's flattened out enough now. There's still a couple of little spots like on edges maybe I should have gone a bit better on. I think that's possibly passable there. Here's something like, you know, bad masking and, paint on the rubbers. Like, that's a pet peeve of mine, like I said. So I'm going to have to go around with a blade and carry on with all of that. It's like, even in here, I don't even understand what this is. He's got like a little edge here. Whether he tried to buff this, like, I don't know, surely not. Like, you wouldn't buff that without sanding it. I don't know, who knows with this Pelican, eh? So anyway, I think the roof's passable now. Like, it's still not great. It's probably got more peel in it than what I get off the gun. Yeah, so that's, it's got more peel in it. It's got more peel in it after I've spent nearly 5 hours working it than what I get off the gun. But in the camera it looks pretty nice. I think we can live with that. Now our colour here looks pretty good, and our colour there is close, and would Joe Blow, who's going to come and buy it, because this is a big dollar car, they are going to pick, like, they're going to have a proper look. Will Joe Blow pick this? Perhaps he may pick a shade there. I don't know if this needs a bit of... I think this needs a bit of adjustment as well. I don't know if those gaps look real flash, but anyway. So I think we have had kind of one bit of success, I suppose. I suppose you could say one bit of success. Like I said, it's probably as good as what I get off the gun, and that's after me spending 5 hours sanding and polishing on it. So yay the professional crash shops, hey. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video there. Hey, yeah, haha. So we're going to have to come back in the next one to see if I can save the rest of this. Reason being, it's going to get too long in the tooth to do the whole car. It's a lot of work to do, and it will end up being a 2-hour episode again. And I don't know if I did a 2-hour one the other week, but whatever. So if this is your first time looking at it, go back and see the build of this and catch up on where all this has come from and what the deal was. But we've got the roof looking okay, so we'll continue for the rest of the week. Like I said, I think we'll get the bumper off. We've got to do some little test pieces for our paint, and then we'll work out if I think we could perhaps do something similar with this bonnet and guard and try to save it. I really don't know. It is like I said, hopefully you can see the peel in it. It is really bad. It shows up so much better under the lights, as you would have seen earlier. But with all that said, I'll say thank you guys for watching. Cross your fingers for me that we can fix it, and I'll see you next week.